Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. This is part 2 of factoring. And as you can see here, we have our expression 4x squared plus 4x plus 1, and we want to factor this. Well, remember, like I said in part 1, our first step is to draw our x box. And what goes on top is a times c. Well, what is a times c? A in this case is 4, and c is 1. So 4 times 1 is 4. And on the bottom of this X box goes B. And what is B? B is 4. So we write a 4 here. And now we want to find out what two numbers multiply to get 4 and add up to get 4 as well. Well, let's write down the factors of 4. We have 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. Well, which of these two adds up to get 4? Well, 1 plus 4, that's 5. That wouldn't work out. 2 plus 2, that's 4. That would work out. So these two are right. So now we write 2 and 2 over here. Well, now, unlike part 1, we don't just write x plus 2 times x plus 2. We wrote that in that case because because a was 1. But now a is not 1. So we're going to do something a little different. What we're going to do is we're going to write a as it is, or the first term as it is, so 4x squared. Then we're going to add this, and now we're going to write 2x plus 2x because these two are our factors. So we write 2x plus 2x. We write these two, but just with an x in front after them. And then we write our c as it is, so 1. And notice how these two terms add up to get the second term. Now what we're going to do is we're going to separate these two. So we're going to separate 4x squared plus 2x, and we're going to separate 2x plus 1. And now we're going to factor these individually. Well, what's the most that these two can factor? So what's the GCF of this? Well, it would be 2x because 2x can go into 4x squared, and 2x is also a factor of 2x and is the greatest factor of 2x. So we write 2x here, 4x squared divided by 2x, that's 2x, and 2x divided by 2x, that's 1. And now this, we have to factor this, and this can't actually be factored because it's already factored the most it is. So we just write that as is, 2x plus 1, and we write a 1 here. And when these two are the same, when the things inside the parentheses are the same, you know you're on the right track. So because both of these are 2x plus 1, we write 2x plus 1 over here. So we write, because they're the same terms, we write them over here. And now, in this parentheses, we write this number, or term, plus this term. Well, 2x plus 1. And our answer here is 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. We could also write this as 2x plus 1 squared. And that is our answer. Now let's do another problem here. Alright, so we have the problem 3x squared plus 11x minus 4. And remember, the first thing to do is draw the x box. On the top is a times c, and that's 3 times negative 4, which is negative 12. And on the bottom, which is b, goes 11. And now we have to find out which two numbers multiply to get negative 12 and add up to get 11. And to do that, we have to write down the factors of negative 12. Well, we have 1 times negative 12, negative 1 times 12, and I'm just going to stop here because we already found our two factors, negative 1 and 12. 12 plus negative 1 is 11, so these two would work out. I'm not going to waste your guys' time and write down all the factors of negative 12 because that would just be a waste of time, and we already found out our two numbers. So now we're going to write them right here in the left and right. It doesn't matter the order. 12 could be over here, negative 1 could be over here. It doesn't matter. And now what we're going to do is write the first term, 3x squared, as is. Then we're going to write 12 and negative 1, but with an x after them. So plus 12x. And this is negative 1, so it's going to be minus, and I could just write x minus 4. And when these two numbers add up to this, you know you're doing good. 12x minus x, that's 11x, and this is 11x, so this is right. And now we're going to factor these two individually. Well, what's the GCF of these two? 3x would work. So 3x over here, that makes this x plus 4. And what's the GCF over here? This would be negative 1. So we write negative 1 over here. X, negative 4 divided by negative 1, that's plus 4. And because these two are the same, we know we did it right. And now, remember, because these two are the same, we write that right there, x plus 4 times this term plus this term, 3x plus negative 1, or 3x minus 1. And this is our factored form.